Tonight on 4th Down on 4, 'tis the season to be jolly. In New Orleans, the Saints make the playoffs for the first time ever. A star is born in Tampa as the Saints see Vintage Vinny, and we'll have a musical look at the hottest team in the NFL.
4th Down on 4 is brought to you by Superior Acura, New York Life, McDonald's, and the Louisiana Coca-Cola Bottling Company. Bottler of Diet Coke, the 1-calorie cola, just for the taste of it. And now, here's Chris Myers.
All right, those are some of the fans who contributed to the noise that Vinny Testaverde couldn't handle as the Saints pulled it out today. Good evening, all. Welcome to our show. The NFL's longest non-playoff drought has come to an end. The Saints, who were the only ones not to have reached the postseason party, are partying tonight. And even Jim Mora, I'm sure, is partying. Last week, the winning season was locked up, and this afternoon in the sold-out Superdome, a playoff position was sealed. The Saints outscored the Bucs 44-34. Most points scored and the most given up by the Saints this season. But their 9th win, combined with the losses by the Eagles and Cardinals, nailed down at worst a wild card spot. And the Saints are just a game back of the 49ers in the NFC West with 3 games to play. This was Jim Mora after the game.
Yeah, I think we ought to talk about the playoffs. What the heck?
The postseason reality set in on 67,000 fans at the Superdome who never stopped believing. Vinny Testaverde, at his first NFL start, fumbled the first 2 times the Bucs had the ball. Bruce Clark recovered the first and set up Bobby Hebert, who flipped 2 touchdown passes to tight end John Tice.
Yeah, you know, you have your base offense, which, you know, you've had since training camp, and we've worked on things in training camp that we don't pull out till, you know, say this week or last week, and you don't want to get in a groove where a team can key on you.
The Saint offense was out to make a statement and did when it was 14-0 just 6 minutes into the game.
I knew it was a good kind of game where we had to, you know, do something offensively. You know, it was just it just seemed like a long game.
But it wasn't long at all for those who waited 21 years for this. Vinny Testaverde battled the dome decibels enough to make a game of it. 369 yards. He ran for a score, passed for 3 more. It was a match of catch-up for Tampa.
We got so far ahead until, you know, it's just hard to keep maintaining that type of intensity when, you know, when you are ahead like that. But we tried. I really think the guys made a conscious effort to keep going, but sometimes it's tough to, you know, keep that same intensity.
With a 7-yard run from Reuben Mays and a score from Dalton Hilliard after one of 2 exceptional Mel Gray punt returns, the Saints had a 28-10 advantage at halftime. The Bucs outscored the Saints 24-16 in the second half, but the Saints never lost control of the game, making the big plays when they had to, like Eric Martin's 2 grabs that kept drives going and kept the Saints on their path to the playoffs.
We played hard. We were ready to play. We had a good week's preparation, and our guys played hard. They really did. And I'm just thankful that we were able to win it, and I'm just as happy as I can be right now, and I'm looking forward to enjoying this for a few hours and then getting ready to beat Houston.
You know, I was raised around here, and I know how the fans and how the community was always behind the Saints, and it seemed like things never worked out. And, you know, playing a few years here and now actually getting the playoffs is just a great feeling, and that I think hasn't really hit me yet.
I'll be disappointed if we didn't go high up in the playoff and make. I see that the team that we got to play, to me, is San Francisco. Whenever we meet up with that team, they're going to prove who the best and who should go to the Super Bowl.
Jim Mora isn't talking Super Bowl, but with a 9-3 record and the longest-running winning streak in the NFL, 6 games, the Saints absolutely, positively, no question, clinched a playoff spot. So now, Coach, how about it?
Yeah, you bet we are. You bet we are. When you get there, you are a playoff team, and the New Orleans Saints, 1987, are a playoff team.
All right, and we're relieved, Jim. The past 3 weeks, the defense has got most of the ink. The Saint offense has put just enough points on the board to make the difference. This week, though, it was really the offense that helped hold off the Tampa Bay rally. The Saints' offensive explosion keyed by Bobby Hebert, who had his best day as a pro. He hit on 16 of 24 passes for 255 yards and 2 scores. Hebert's steady play offset the Testaverde onslaught. Mel Gray set up 2 Saints touchdowns with a pair of scintillating returns, including a team record 80-yarder in the second quarter. Eric Martin didn't catch a pass in the first half, and only 2 for the game, but both set up crucial scores late in the contest as Tampa was attempting a comeback. All right, joining us now in the studio, I guess we can call him the elder statesman. You heard Jim Moore allude to him earlier in our newscast. Stan Brock, he's been with the franchise through the toughest of times, and I appreciate you taking time out from your partying tonight, because I know you don't get much of it with Jim Moore to be with us. This has got to be a special feeling.
This is a great feeling. This is, you know, being 1-15 at one time in our career and thinking, God, this thing's never going to end. We're jinxed. We got a great franchise now, a lot of winners on our team, got some guys out of the USFL that are helping us tremendously, and I don't know, it's hard to put it in words. Been through the thin of it, now we're right in the thick of it.
What is the biggest difference, Stan? I mean, they've done it in 2 years here. Things have really turned.
I don't know. It's like I say, it's hard to put your finger on it. It's something that we work hard every year. You come into the season, you think you're going to win, and as the season goes on, your dreams begin to fade out. Now our dreams are alive, and everything's going good. Coach Moore is steady, like he said in the interview earlier. We got a couple hours to really enjoy this and have a good time. Tomorrow we'll go back in and watch film, and we're going to get told what we did wrong and said what we did right. We'll be ready for Houston.
Yeah, the offense did a lot of good things. We talked during the week. You said, hey, we're due, and you told Hebert something before the game.
Yeah, this morning, before the game, I just went up to Bobby and I go, how about this? How about 21 points in the first quarter, and you throw for 300 yards, and we just have a good time with it. And he said, yeah, that sounds good. And I didn't even know what he threw until I just saw the statistics come out. But he had a great day today, and he's done a great job for us.
Okay, we're going to continue with Stan Brock, and we'll have a look, too, at the debut of Vinny Testaverde. That's ahead here on 4th Down on 4. Stay with us. The hair by Brian Bosworth here. These are some of the fans that in the sold-out Superdome, they had just over 66,000 who made a lot of noise. There were exceptional signs set up around that all I want for Christmas is my playoff seat, and well, the Saints fans will have that. They sang the Who Dat song for a little while. They dressed in black and gold, and absolutely incredible. You said it got a little quiet there, though, in that second half.
It did. It seemed like as the fans went, so did the Saints. I think that in the third quarter, it became a lull. I think that we looked like we kind of took a little bit of time off, and as soon as the fans got back into it, we kind of picked it back up. So the fans make a big difference, and I don't know if they realize it, but being on the road, when you hear all that cheering going on, when it's third and long, lineman can't hear, quarterback can't get his signals off, they make a big difference. Did a great job today.
Did the offense feel a little bit of, I don't think pressure's the right word, but the necessity to keep scoring because you see a guy like Testaverde get in there and just do some amazing things and put points on the board for Tampa?
Yeah, sitting on the sidelines, you could see him getting hot, and the more he was throwing the ball and he's completing long passes, it started getting a little bit scary there at one point, but the defense allowed us to get the first 14 points in early. So it was a feeling that we can score. All we got to do is just keep going, and we know the defense can shut them down. We've seen them play in the past, so it's a real different feeling on the whole Saints organization. Being an offensive lineman, you know the defense is going to shut them down, and all we got to do is put some points on the board, and we can win the game.
And you did that, 44 points for the Saint offense. Now, remember the Dolphins' great passer, Dan Marino? He made his first splash in the NFL against the Saints. He came in for David Woodley, looked sharp, but Miami lost the game to the Saints. Another great one to be was in action today, as Joe Amato reports.
As it turns out, Testaverde practiced all week knowing he was the starter.
Before the game, I asked him if he was nervous or not, and he said, no, I'm ready to play.
His first NFL start, though, was very shaky. 2 fumbles led to 14 points for the Saints. By the end of the game, though, you had to be impressed with Testaverde. Heck, he was bringing the Bucs back. Kind of looked like John Elway. And that's the most points the Saints have given up this year. The former Heisman winner from Miami completed 22 of 47 for 369 yards.
I felt real good, going in. But of course, we were playing the catch-up game from the start, 14-0. But I never believed for a second that we couldn't win the ball game.
Testaverde was intercepted twice, but said we won the second half. The Bucs have a lot to build on.
The main thing that I'm the most pleased about is he has got great, I mean absolutely great poise.
Testaverde on first down, throws deep. Touchdown Tampa Bay.
I mean nothing, absolutely nothing. I think you could drop a Sherman tank on his head and it wouldn't shake him. But when you've got that to work with during the heat of the battle and he understands what you're talking about and doing things, making adjustments during the course of the game, that's a great asset.
And so on a day when the Saints started a new era, so did Tampa Bay.
Hey, you played a hell of a game.
Joe Amato for 4th down on 4.
Well, Testaverde, you said, was outstanding. Now, what your team gets rolling 6 in a row. You've been here long enough to be on the bad side of things, as we talked about. Do you get superstitious a little bit?
Yeah, I think that everybody does. I know that on the road I wear the same tie and have the same kind of uniform on the airplane. And I even heard today that Mrs. Mora was worried about me doing so many interviews as an offensive lineman. So I just want to tell Mrs. Mora, don't worry about it. We'll handle it, and this way it's going to be.
Jim Mora a little superstitious about coming on this show as well after his 2 appearances last year, but he will be here as we will continue with the Saints through the playoffs. In going into this game, did you feel like the offense needed to really pick it up and get on the ball with the defense?
Yeah, the pressure was on. You know, we've been playing well enough and kind of scoring the points when we need to, and we come out in third quarters and make a long drive and kind of make things work. And our defense has been carrying us, and it's kind of like our turn to pull the rope a little bit. And I think we did it today. I think that Vinny Testaverde probably surprised a lot of people. You know, you got Pat Swilling, had his hands on him all day, but just could never seem to bring him down. And this is something that we like as offensive linemen, is give us a ball and let's see what we can do, and it seemed to work today. And I think Bobby Hebert had a great day. That was impressive.
He really did. Real quick before we break, Jim Mora told us, playoff team, what did he tell you guys in the locker? Did he finally say, hey, you know, we're in?
No, we're not done. That's our deal, is we're not done. We've won 9 games now, and we got to go and let's play Houston and see what happens from there.
All right, when we come back, we'll take a look at the teams that gave the Saints a helping hand, as well as Houston, their next opponent. Welcome back to 4th Down on 4, and thanks for staying up with us. The Saints playoff was made possible so much more quickly because the Cardinals and Eagles both lost today. Let's go to those games and show you how they went. East Rutherford, New Jersey, the Giants needed to knock off Philadelphia. Phil Simms looking and finding Stephon Baker in the 4th quarter, the rookie. It was 20-6 Giants, but the Eagles came back behind Randall Cunningham, who is having a tremendous year. He threw 2 touchdowns in the final 3.5 minutes of it. Watch this nice catch by Kenny Jackson as the ball is tipped and they went into overtime. He was just inbounds in the OT. Raul Allegre, a 28-yarder. Giants pull it out 23-20. The Eagles are out of the picture. In St. Louis, Redskins trying to wrap up the NFC East, and Jay Schrader looking long for number 84. And he has it to go, 84 yards, a touchdown. It was 7-0 Washington on top. Cardinals tied the score at 10 in the 2nd quarter as Lomax hits J.T. Smith. And the Cards took a 13-10 lead, but Washington regains it for good. Schrader, a 7-yarder, and in your face as the Redskins clinched the division, and the final was 34-17. They win it in the East. The 49ers are trying to clinch the West, but right now all they have is a wild card sewn up at Green Bay. No problem for Joe Montana. On the quarterback draw, 10 yards. It was 14-0 in the 2nd quarter. In the 3rd quarter, Paul Otkaruth keeps the Packers close with a 1-yard dive. Extra point missed. It was 16-12. But watch this one in the 4th quarter. Montana and Rice team up again to close the door on the Pack. Montana hit his first 17 passes, and he completed 22 straight, an NFL record. The Niners awesome and winning at 23-12. Still a game up on the Saints in the NFC West. In Minnesota tonight, Mike Ditka not happy about having to play indoors. Remember the line about the roller rink and all that? But the Bears put a smile on his face as McMahon hit Willie Gault to make it 13-0. McMahon later injured. Vikings come back. Tommy Kramer gets knocked out, but he completes the pass. And the great run from Anthony Carter with the nice moves. 14-13 Vikes led. They held a 24-23 lead in the 4th quarter. But Mike Tomczak, you see how much time is left. In for McMahon, hits Dennis Gentry, who takes the completion all the way in for the touchdown, and the Bears win it. They clinch the Central Division. The Vikings still thinking wild card. The final was 30-24. In other games, Atlanta upset Dallas 21-10. The Raiders win over Buffalo. Mark Wilson, the hot hand, 34-21 the final there. The Bengals win in overtime, 30-27, and it was the Rams. Jim Everett's biggest day as a pro, and Charles White over 100 yards rushing. The Rams defeat the Lions. The Steelers defeated the Seahawks. Pittsburgh comes back with a win. The Colts over the Browns 9-7 as the Browns fumbled late in that game, killing a field goal chance that would have won it. Denver rallied behind John Elway to beat New England 31-20, and the Monday nighter in the AFC East has the Jets against the Dolphins. Now, Al Saunders and the Chargers took on the Oilers, a couple of teams that were slumping. Dan Fouts fumbles here, and Robert Lyles picks it up and takes it all the way 55 yards for the touchdown. It was 7-0 Houston in the first quarter. Oilers open it up in the third. Mike Rozier from the 1-yard line, and he dives in to make it 27-5. And after every kickoff, the Oilers' mojo comes out and gets the tee and slides in there. He's not doing this enough, though, because he could lose a few LBs. He's safe, and so were the Oilers. Fourth quarter, Warren Moon on the keeper, and he takes it in. Remember, he did practice all week, but the Oilers beat San Diego 33-18 was the final. And Stan, the Oilers up next. Obviously, you haven't had time to think about them, but you did say you focus on that next opponent. So you're thinking, let's take Houston, let's win the rest of our games and see what happens with the Niners.
Yeah, I don't know about the rest of our games. I know we got the Oilers coming up, and that's who we're going to have to concentrate on. And that's probably been the biggest difference in our season this year as the years in the past, is that Coach Moore never allows anyone to think ahead. We won this game. Let's have a great time tonight. Tomorrow we'll come in and find out what we did wrong. Wednesday we come back and we'll work hard and get ready for the Oilers.
Okay, for being our guest, you get a dinner for two. You also get the, this is from Sue's Jewelry, a 14-karat gold tie clip that is has the Saints emblem, and of course with your wardrobe.
Boy,
I don't know.
I just want to tell Sue, thanks a lot. This is really going to come in handy with all the ties that I wear, and I know that Coach Moore will be impressed.
You have to put a tie on to go to this restaurant. You can pin that on your hat or something like that. But
yeah,
thanks for being
with me. That done.
What are you going to do after this? Now we're going to let you go.
I don't know.
Here.
I might head out of the streets. I think some of my buddies are out
there. A lot of Saints fans running around, but make sure you make practice tomorrow. Right?
I'll have my my tie clasp or whatever you call it. Put it on a tie, I'll have it on.
From Sue's on Metairie Road. Thanks again. Okay. Hey, great year. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
An offensive lineman getting a lot of credit. He deserves it. Up next, we'll see how things stand in the wild and wacky AFC, and we'll salute the Saints with a song. Stay with us. All right, Chris Myers back with you here on 4th Down on 4. We will continue our show throughout the Saints season. When they go through the playoffs, we'll be here every Sunday night with you to update their situation and hopefully have good news. And right now, the situation looks pretty good for the Saints. You know by now that they clinched at least a wild card spot. The NFC teams that will be in the playoffs, these are the teams. Now, it's just a matter of who goes where. The 49ers are in the playoffs, too, with a 10-2 record. The Bears have won the Central Division. The Redskins have won the Eastern Division. So the Saints will either be a wild card and play the Vikings, or the Saints could win the NFC West. They would have the first week off, as San Francisco would be the wild card and play Minnesota. Now, the AFC picture is very unclear. In the West, Denver now has the best record as San Diego is slumping. Seattle is just hanging on. The Raiders and Kansas City are thinking about next year. In the East, well, that's as wide open, too. Now New England is 2 games off the race. The Colts lead by a game over the Jets, who play tomorrow night against Miami in the Monday nighter. Buffalo plays the Colts next week, so they can get back into that race if they win that one against Indianapolis. In the Central, Cleveland blew a golden opportunity today. Houston took advantage by winning a 3-way tie with the Browns, Oilers, and Steelers, and the Bengals have been a major disappointment, so Sam Weish may have to straighten things out if he wants to get his team in next year. We'll continue, of course, to update the playoff situation each Sunday night here on 4th Down on 4. Time to reward some lucky fan with 2 Saints tickets to the next home game. Compliments of Diet Coke, and you know these things are worth a lot. Al Grunts of New Orleans, hey, you're going to see the Oilers and the Saints next Sunday here in the Dome, and you can bet that one will sell out. If you'd like to win a pair of tickets, all you have to do is send your name and address on a postcard to Diet Coke Ticket Giveaway, WWL-TV, 1024 North Rampart Street. That's New Orleans, 70116. And we got to wrap things up here. It's been a great day. Wild in the Dome. It was wild with all the signs and the fans and the hollering. It was really neat. The Saints are home again next Sunday, as we mentioned, with the Oilers, and the sky's the limit. Thanks to Stan Brock for being with us. And we may head out to Bourbon Street now. Thanks you two for watching. We leave you with an updated version of The Saints Go Marching In, sung by Luther Kent and Dr. John. Bob Parkinson supplies the pictures. Bob Reichert put it together, and the Saints are making it enjoyable.
Here come the Saints, they're marching in. Oh yeah, the Saints are marching in. And we're gonna be in the playoffs, my friend, because our Saints are marching in.
Got the Soul Patrol, #1 defender. They have made the Saints contender. Picking off taxes like peas out of Mighty Cross. We got the best defense you ever saw. Got the Bayou Bullet, bang, bang. Got the Yak Attack, right, yeah. We got the Cajun, walk back.
And Martin Anderson kicked another one.
Even the coach look like they're having fun.
One more win for the Black and Gold.
But the playoffs, then the Super Bowl, we gon' do this and forget, my friend.
'Cause the Saints are marching in. Here come the Saints, they're marching in.
Oh yeah, the Saints are gonna win. We gonna be in the playoffs, yeah. 'Cause the Saints are marching in.
I said the Saints
I'm marching right on in now. Oh, marching on.
Fourth Down on 4 was brought to you by Superior Acura, New York Life, McDonald's, and the Louisiana Coca-Cola Bottling Company, bottler of Diet Coke. The 1-calorie cola, just for the taste of it.